And welcome down here to Norbuild Oval at Fred's Pass for the much-awaited Southern District's Tiwi Bombers game. Young Patrick Bowden, of course, a former Richmond and Footscray player, will coach the Tiwis for the first time. And we're all looking forward to watching Anthony Tippenwoody in his return to the Tiwis after 11 years, would you believe? 11 years since he pulled on the Bomber jumper. And this is AFL and T's coverage, too, of the Round 2 game down here at Norbuild Oval. And let me introduce to my fellow commentator, Ian Butterworth. You must be looking forward to this particular match.
Look, I am, Gray, very, very much. And interested to see how Anthony McDonald Tippenwoody goes. And you mentioned he hasn't played up here for about 10 or 11 years. I think he was a member of the Tiwi Bomber 2012 Premiership team. Yep. So he must have been just a young lad back in those days, 10 years ago. So he just turned 30 now.
So he would have only been a 20-year-old then,
yeah. But excuse me, he's not a big possession winner. He was never a big possession winner, but when he gets it, he's got to make sure that he does something with it, and what he does best is kick goals.
That's right. And of course the Tiwi Bombers would love to open their account in their first game of the season, bearing in mind they had the bye last week. At the other end of the ground we can see Southern Districts warming up. They were very disappointing against Waratah in their opening round game, and I'm sure Shannon Rusker, their coach, would have had some stern words about it inside those dressing rooms.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Gray. I actually asked a couple of the Southern Districts players, and they said no. He was a bit realistic because there's quite a number of players that didn't play last week, including the man Matthew Dennis, who is the reigning
Cheney medalist,
of course, best on ground.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in a losing premiership team.
Very rare too, and a very good footballer.
We see Rhett Bowden there, the older brother of Patrick Bowden. And Rhett didn't actually play AFL, but about 3 of the Bowden boys did play AFL, and Rhett was good enough to play AFL, but chose to go to university.
And went over the west to play for East Fremantle in the Waffle.
Yep.
Instead of following the Bowden trend. Of course, his father and Joel, of course, played AFL. And, in fact, 4 of them played, because the present chairman of the AFL NT was played about a handful of games with Richmond,
that's right.
Sean Bowden, that is,
Sean,
of course.
Yeah. So yeah. Gray, today a bit of an unknown. The Bombers, they're pretty confident, but I look at them again and they'll be undersized in terms of the verticality, if you like, if that is a word, verticality. I'm sure it's not. Southern Districts will be much taller. Matthew Dennis, as we mentioned. Another big fella down there we saw was Mason Hine.
He looks like he's a giant, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and that'll be the typical Bombers. But what the Bombers have done the last 2 or 3 years, and again I'm assured that it won't be a trait, is that they died in the second half. They could keep with teams through their pace and tenacity for a half a game, but actually died in the backside during the second half of games, and of course have only won a handful of games over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
And of course, on a day like this, it'll be very easy to die in the second half because it's a bit warm out here at Fred's Pass, although there is a breeze blowing.
Well, it's more of a breeze. It really is a gusty wind, so I expect down to the southern end will be the major scoring end. Of course, that's the end furthest away from us, Gray.
Yes, which is very handy, but anyway, we'll work it out. The game not far away from beginning as both teams do their warm-ups. Very important game for both sides. And look, I'll just give you a bit of background Ian, on the way down here, I'm thinking how many AFL games have Anthony Tipperwoody for the Tiwis? And, of course, we're forgetting about Jed Anderson, who's only playing his second game in the NTFL for Southern Districts. They've played 232 AFL games between them. Anthony Tipperwoody, of course, with Essendon. Jed Anderson, a bit of a journeyman at Hawthorn and the Kangaroos. And you notice I left out the Gold Coast Sun because he didn't actually play for the Suns.
It's a pity he didn't play one game with the Suns. Gray, why?
Well, if he had it on his sums, he would have realised he was one short. But
one short of 100.
Anyway, but he did captain the NT Thunder under-18 side to a national title about 11 years ago. I was down in Melbourne then, and of course played with Box Hill, a premiership side in the VFL. So he certainly can play football.
But it's a famous name, Anderson, in the NTFL, particularly with his grandfather.
The great Jimmy Anderson. Yes, Darwin Buffalo's supporters will know all about Jimmy. Great player. Went down to Western Australia to try out with West Perth. Lasted about a month. Got homesick. But he went down with Billy Dempsey. Billy Dempsey stayed, of course, and became a sensation.
A legend. And
I'm sure Jimmy would have if he'd have stayed. So 232 games between them in the AFL, and that's the elite competition in the country, Ian.
It's a good effort, isn't it? Now, the new captains, or if you like, captains, Brendan Cantilla captaining the Tiwi Bombers for the first time, and he wears the lofty number 50, and the captain of Southern Districts in the absence of Dean Staunton, who is unavailable today, is Michael Bowden. And Michael Bowden, of course, not an unusual, well, he's been part of the leadership group in Southern Districts for a long, long time, and a fantastic defender, Bowden.
And of course wearing the familiar number 8 jumper.
Yep.
Will Michael. So so that's it. We're about ready to go. The team's in their huddles. You will be providing the live broadcast, Ian. I'm sure the listeners are looking forward to hearing your dulcet tones. And as the umpires, water boys come off the ground, there goes the siren, and I'll leave it with you, Ian.
Thanks, Gray. And the toss. We missed the toss. I'm sure it's been had because the goal umpires now moving to their respective ends. It'll be interesting to see who takes the tap and whether they are serious, Gray, in terms of the ruck, or whether they'll just rove, if you like, to a winning Southern Districts ruck. And we expect Southern Districts in the ruck, Matthew Dennis and Mason Hine, if Hine in fact does go into the middle. Matthew Dennis, probably for 10 years, Gray, has been a fantastic player. Firstly with Palmerston, and then the last 2 seasons, well, this is his second season at Southern Districts, and as you mentioned, was the Cheney medalist for 2023, which unfortunately, there's been a few. I think Nathan Buckley might have won a Cheney, not a Cheney, but a Nichols medal. No, a Norm Smith.
A Norm Smith, yep.
Yeah, and in a losing
And don't forget the great number 5 for Geelong, Gary Ablett.
Gary Ablett, yes.
1989, 9 goal, did everything right, and they lost. so here we are in a warm, inviting though, Ian, Norbuild Oval.
And we see Southern Districts will be kicking against the breeze to the northern end here at Norbuild Oval. In ruck for the Tiwi Bombers might be Stanley Tipalura. No, it won't. Carlson Cantilla. He's got the right name for a ruckman, Carlson Cantilla, and he will be up against Matthew Dennis. So Cantilla and Dennis. Field umpire ready. Waiting for the 2 players of respective sides to get into the goal square. The goal umpire moves back. All's fair in love and war. All square. Toss the ball into the air. And here we go. It'll be Cantilla. Carlson Cantilla against Matthew Dennis. Dennis grabs the ball. Handballs away to Ruska. Ruska loses possession. Was he taken high in the tackle? No. Give it to me, said the field umpire. Up we go again. Dennis once again under a bit of pressure. Tiwi Bombers get the clearance, the first clearance of the game. Flipped out. Michael Bowden, the acting captain for Southern Districts, gets his hand onto the football. Bit of a fumble. Districts kick on goal. Running around. Kick on goal and a mark taken in defence by Districts. Districts will work the ball out. Still inside defensive 50. Goes by hand on the outer. Can't find the handle. Tenacious Tiwi Bombers. Get it back by hand, inside forward 50 once again. The defence of Southern Districts under a bit of pressure. Down there we've got Brandon Rusker. Unusual role, playing in defence. We'll see where he fits in.
And you're right, Ian, it's definitely an undersized Tiwi Bombers, as we've come to expect.
Yep. 3 possessions already for Matthew Dennis in the ruck. So he will know. He's played up here for about 10 or 12 years. All taken high, and it'll be a free kick down back. Advantage. And the ball has been kicked in. Mark taken, and it might be the Tiwi Bombers first to score.
He's just turning around now to have a look at him. All of 3 is 33. That is
Roy Cantilla.
Who can kick a goal, Butters.
He can.
Although he is on an impossible angle.
He's right of centre. Roy Cantilla. Been around for a long, long time, but you're right, he can kick a goal. So Cantilla, man on the mark 30 metres from goal. Cantilla lines it up, right of centre. Very acute. Gives himself a chance, every chance. Cantilla kicks and misses to the near side. Misses everything, Gray. Hit the behind post.
Yes.
And Southern Districts get the free to bring the ball back into play.
We gave him a great lead up, but he let us down. Hopefully next time, Roy. Districts bring the ball back, favouring the grandstand side. Matthew Dennis couldn't take the mark. Ball out of bounds. I don't know whether that was on the full, I think.
Yeah, yep. It must have been on the full. Once again, the Bombers persist. District's defence under pressure. Working hard. Dragged off the footy. Good tackle. Roy George. People want me to call him Boy George, but it's not Boy George, it's Roy George. And the ball is out of bounds on the wing. So Southern Districts have worked the ball at least into their half of the ground, Gray.
Oh. And the breeze, Ian, where's it coming from? The northeast? No. You being an ex-Weather Bureau expert, I thought you might be the answer to it all.
Ball tossed in by the boundary umpire. Ball on the ground. That's 4th possession already for the big man. No kicks yet, all handballs, but that's enough to get the ball rolling. Districts, a series of handballs. Kick, first shot on goal, out of bounds on the full, and that was a bad one. Jake McQueen, normally much better than that, and the defence of the Tiwi Bombers, now it's their turn to be under pressure. Bring the ball back, loose player between full-back and centre-half back. Play on called, didn't call play on, should have called play on. Kicked off the ground, Districts in control, too long. Some good work in defence. Backs himself, goes by hand, handball again. They're running the ball out of bounds on the full. Just long enough. Backed himself, got away by hand. That was a terrific effort, Brock Orville. Another series of handballs. The Bombers working hard. Pace. Wonderful defence. That was Ronald Fijo. Normally see him in forward line, Gray, but Fijo playing down back.
Down back, as is young Rusker, I don't know.
Yeah. Work done, and it's holding mark, centre half back. Districts outside defensive 50. They got the run of the ball. They have. Running hard. Inside. Shot on goal. First score of the game. 5 minutes in.
Dylan Barry,
Barry, I think you're right. So Dylan Barry gets the first score of the game, the first goal of the game, and Districts on the board.
Well, they certainly found some space in from right deep in the back pocket as well. Ran the ball. Got it to Dylan Barry, who had an open goal in front of him, and he didn't miss. That's important, especially kicking into some type of breeze.
Look, you're right, Gray, but a series of handballs, and Southern Districts seem to be a bit handball happy at the moment. That seems to be the way they're trying to break up the run and carry of the Tiwi Bombers, and the handballs did the job. It's Matthew Dennis in the ruck once again has started the game just fantastically. 4 disposals inside 5 minutes. All handballs, but nonetheless it is a disposal. Carlson Cantilla will be his opponent.
Yes, he certainly looks hungry, does Matty Dennis. And the Tiwis may have a job keeping him quiet.
Cantilla and Dennis. Probably a dead heat in the middle. Gets ball out. Cantilla gets the ball out by hand. Away the Bombers go. And here's the skipper, the newly anointed skipper, kicks the ball in. And the mark taken by the Tiwi Bombers. He's a long way from the action, Gray.
Yes, as he walks back. Umpire checks his mark.
Left of centre.
And I reckon that's Roy Cantilla again. All the threes on his back.
Roy Cantilla, this time the opposite side of the ground. He is a right footer, Cantilla. Kicks on goal now and hits the post. Just unfortunate for the Tiwi Bombers. They've been in attack for most of the quarter against the run of play. It was Southern Districts. The Crocs got the first score on the board. We've gone 7 minutes into the first term, and Southern Districts 1 goal, 6 behinds. Tiwi Bombers 1 behind. Player left unattended, centre half back.
Kick is smothered though.
It was called play on, quick call play on, which was that field umpire did a good job. The earlier one didn't. The Crocs now again a series of handballs. Get it in centre half back. That man down there has taken another mark.
He stopped a few forward thrusts, this guy.
He has. Out they go.
Mitch Pemberton.
Ronald Fijo. New way down back. There's the big man, Mason Hine. Goes off by hand, into the middle. The left footer. Too long. So it looks like Hine will be replacing Matthew Dennis in the ruck. There's the skipper, Cantilla, gets it out to Michael Dunn. What a player he's been over a long, long period of time, Michael Dunn. I reckon he and McDonald, Tip and Woody, the last members of their premiership winning team, 2012.
You'd be very close there, Ian, I think, yes.
Blackney Nota.
The days of the Muncaras and Darcys are long gone.
They have long gone. Poor Jimmy kicks it in.
Oh, he dropped it.
Mark dropped. Onto the left foot. Swings it. That breeze took that out of bounds on the full once again. So they're kicking. They've been wasteful down forward. Had plenty of opportunities, Gray.
I was going to say their efficiency rate isn't good. They've got 1 behind from how many attacks down there? Probably half a dozen.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about forward 50 entries.
Yep. Districts have the footy.
That's a nice kick.
Yep. Player left unattended. Is that Rusker out there? Mightn't be. Sold the dummy. Runs his full measure. Kicks it in. Player loose over the back. 1 player loose over the back. Poor effort by Southern Districts that time. The handball to no one in particular. Some defensive work now on his own, 1 against 3, and the man John Tipalura has a big job to do. Advantage paid. Well done, John Tipalura, and he gets it to the ruckman Carlson Cantilla. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, gets it into the middle. The Bombers are away again. Finds space up forward. The kick on goal. Runs 2 bounces, runs 3 bounces. Sells the dummy. Will go onto the left foot after 3 bounces and nails it. Well done, Thaddeus Port Jimmy. Goal of the year so far. Terrific effort.
Yes, in true Tiwi Bombers tradition, he danced around some defenders, lined up with his left foot and went bang. So a great goal out of the Tiwis. They needed it. They'd certainly had enough forward entries. And now they're in front, Ian, I think, or the score's level. No, they're in front by a point.
1-1-7 to 1 goal, 1 straight behind.
And it all started, of course, back here on the half-back flank with number 21.
John Tipalura.
Unbelievable.
He beat 3. Forced the free kick.
Unbelievable. He beat 3 of them, that's right. So Patrick Bowden, the coach, be very pleased with that effort, I would say.
Back in the middle. It's Matthew Dennis who refuses, I think, to leave the ground. He just loves it. Won that tap, gets it. He rucked, he roved, he gets it out by hand. That's his 6th handball. Hasn't had a kick yet, a possession. High tackle, play on, called the umpire. Give it to me, he said. And probably a correct call. Back in the middle of the ground. And we'll have the secondary bounce. So it's Dennis up against Cantilla. Dennis got another tap. Oh, that's downfield. Yep, good pick up by the field umpire. McDonald Tipperwoody, his first possession, Gray.
His first touch, yeah. Number 23.
It's his first possession. Not a big possession getter. Long way out, but he's got the breeze. Fancies himself, I think, Gray.
Yes, the left foot. He'd be what, right on 50?
Oh yeah, his first possession in 10 years of football. We've had the blood rule.
Certainly a standout is Tipper with that
the hairdo,
dreadlocks.
Tipperwoody
And
kicks inside.
I don't know whether he went for a pass or not then, but it was certainly way offline.
Yeah, and a bit ambitious, I reckon. Crocs have it. They'll run the ball out of defence. 2 bounces. Onto the left. Big Hine has it. Loses it. Bombers. Some good effort there by Clayton Tipalura. Tipalura gets it into the middle. Finds a teammate out there in Henry Keranua, the former Waratah. I think he might be the son of Adam. Onto the left foot. They've got a lot of left footers. Clayton Tipalura kicks it forward. Big jaw, not a mark taken. They had 1 grab, 2 grabs. Couldn't hang on to the Sharon. Southern Districts have space out wide. Easing after the ball. Jake McQueen. Quality player, McLean. Kicks it inside.
And as soon as you give him a rap, he kicked it straight to a
only to find Kurt Dunn. Dunn, lovely kick. Out wide. Babui gets it inside. Cantilla's been pretty good, although he's beaten in the ruck, but he ran the ground. Cantilla has had plenty of possessions. That's Carlson Cantilla. And he's done well around the ground.
This is number 13. The Devils number.
Braden Rioli. Gee, they've mucked up a lot down there, haven't they?
Yes, they've...
inside 50's great. It'd be 10-3, I think.
They can't quite get organised down there, and they've gone for those short passes into a pocket, which is not the thing to do at Norbuild Over. You've got to go straight down the middle.
The breeze is a killer too. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. In front. Gives his Rovers an armchair ride. There's Matthew Dennis. Big Hine. Looks like an immovable object. The pace, too much. Kicked it forward, bad kick forward. That was John Tipalura, who did so well down back earlier. Southern Districts, they will clear. And that is through Kane Davidson. Davidson gets it out to the man who's doing pretty well down back, Ronald Fijo. Unusual place for him. And it finishes up there with Ethan Maney. Maney for Southern Districts out on the scoreboard side. Goes by hand, 1 handball, 2 handballs. Bit of pace. Inside forward 50. Over the back, 2-on-1. Southern Districts player fell over, took the ball down with him. Might get pinged here. Is that Dylan Barry?
It is, yeah. I thought he dragged the ball in as well, but the umpire disagrees with us.
And that's his prerogative, Gray.
Yeah, that's right.
Up they go, Hine.
He's closer to the action than us, I guess.
Probably got a fingernail to it. The ball out of bounds. Right full forward. Southern Districts deep in attack. Districts leading after 14.5 minutes. It's the Bombers leading. 1-1-7. Districts one goal.
So the big fellow Hine rucking for the Bombers.
Over the back.
For the Districts. Getting confused here.
Bombers, Michael Dunn clears the footy. Tipperwoody jumps when he should have stayed on the ground. Running hard. And a lovely kick. We'll have a set shot out wide. Right of centre. Inside forward 50 just. Man on the mark. 48 metres from goal.
Yes.
So that's Matthew Johnston.
Difficult shot.
Yeah. I think he's kicking straight into the teeth of the breeze. But he gives it plenty, and just squares the ledger. 1-1 apiece after 15 minutes of play in the first quarter. Short kick. Gary Purintara Mary, sometimes we see him in the ruck. Ran 1 metre and had a bounce. He had another 14 to go, Gray. Here's the skipper. Brendan Cantilla goes inside. to the busy Brock Orville. Had a little bit of it.
He has had a bit of it, I was just going to mention him.
Orville, nice kick forward. Southern Districts, again, clearing pretty much at will down there. Nice work, Jed Anderson. Jed Anderson had a possession. Got a handball out.
That's his first one too, I think.
Jed Anderson might be playing down back. You can check that out too, Gray. This might be Orville again. It is Orville. He's got 2 to beat and does it well. High tackle. Field umpire, good free kick and paid the play on. That's Orville once again. Kicks it downfield, but out of bounds.
Yes, so a low scoring game, mainly because of the efficiency up forward of both sides. They're wasting some chances.
Matthew Dennis and Brock Orville for Southern Districts and the Tiwi Bombers respectively. Dennis in front, gets the ball to his team's advantage. Ball in dispute, out by Dennis once again. That's his 7th handball in the first quarter, Gray.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, hasn't had a kick. But if his handballs are effective, picks the ball up, runs. Kim Cantilla, have we seen him go? Cantilla, the ball gets out wide to Michael Thompson. Thompson back to Cantilla, runs around, has a bounce, has 2 bounces, runs into an open goal. Cantilla, can he score? He doesn't, hit the post again, that's 2. 2 posters. It gives the Bombers a slight advantage, Gray, 128 to 117.
They are in front, despite the amount of opportunities that they have had, Ian.
Yeah. And not enough though, Gray, because they've got a bit of a breeze. All brought back into play. The defence of the Southern Districts side working overtime. And get the ball out, running hard, Taj Stanley. Stanley gets it forward, running into goal. Over the back, Big Hine. Can't take the mark. Was it touch? No, it's a behind.
He looked like he had his name written all over that.
Yeah, he did, but he misjudged it.
It must have swirled away from him, from the big fellow.
Not sure why that was brought back. We weren't precisely in Blackney Nota playing the key defensive role.
So that means the scores are level? No, it doesn't. It means that
Blackney Nota.
The Tiwis are still a point in front.
2 footies. Now everything's locked up. Instead of allowing the Bombers to get away, we were being too precise. Blackley Nota kicks the ball out. Big opportunity.
Oh.
Dennis couldn't take the mark. Ball on the ground. In dispute. Gets it out. 1 bounce. Will he have another one? No, he stops and turns around. Handballs to his own advantage. That's the skipper, Brendan Cantilla. Threw it away because he was just hung on to as he tried to bounce it. Nice bump from the side. Good defensive work. Districts. Gee, their defence is working overtime. They've done well down back. Bombers fighting over the football.
Here's a
lack
go.
of cohesion.
Once again, they've gone sideways.
Goes across the face of goal. I'm not quite sure why Jacob Brown would do that. He kicked the ball into where it should have been in the first place. Yep, threw it away.
Well, it's worked out well for the Tiwis, but certainly he was right in front of God. He could have kept running another 10 or 15 metres. And he went sideways into the forward pocket.
Left of centre, the big man. Clayton Tipalura to kick on goal. Can he finish with a goal and give the Bombers a distinct advantage in what might be a low-scoring game? So it's Tipalura, Clayton Tipalura, left of centre, the left footer. Not the ideal spot for him. Tipalura kicks on goal. I reckon he's nailed it. Clayton Tipalura, goal.
From a very difficult spot too, in that left forward pocket. It's a very handy one for the Tiwis after all the opportunities they have had. But it is quarter time here at Norbuild Oval, where the Tiwi Bombers lead 2-2-14 to Districts 1-2-8, and this is AFL&T's coverage of the round 2 game between Districts and the Tiwi Bombers. We'll be back very soon.
Hazale's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunch lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Territorians go a long way for one another.
So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away.
Get a quote today.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Simon, where's that bucket?
Because it was recording in here, and when you turn it off without stopping the recording, it's not happy.
So should I? Okay.
Yeah, put it on again.
No.
Just make sure this one doesn't fall out again.
Welcome back here to Norbury Oval at Fred Pass, where Ian Butterworth, my fellow commentator, we're witnessing a pretty good game, low scoring, but a bit of a windy day out here and a bit hot. Yeah, it's a 6-point lead to the Tiwi Bombers, 2-4 to 1-2 goal kickers for the Bombers. Thaddeus Portjimmy has a goal, as does Clayton Tipalura, and the goal scorer, the single goal scorer, was Dylan Barry for Southern Districts. Even though, or despite the dominance of Matthew Dennis in the ruck, probably Pemberton down back for Southern Districts. Very good. It's the Bombers who are full of run, Gray, but we've seen that so often before, full of run, and die in the second half. Let's see if it happens. I mean, still a bit of footy to be played. Now, you're keeping, endeavouring to keep a bit of a stat, even though it's very difficult on what is it? 237 games. 232 games between them, yep. Yeah, that's Jed Anderson, of course, and McDonald, Tip and Moody. And what have they had a possession each? A total possessions of 2 between them, which is 1 each. Yeah. But I think they've been a bit smart. They realise a bit hot. They'll start slowly and work their way into it in. I think that's their plan. As I look over here at Anthony Tip and Woody walking into looks like a forward pocket. Where he played his best football for Essendon, of course. Yep. So Matthew Hine, or Mason Hine, the man you're interested in, he'd be well over 2 metres tall, Hine, in ruck for Southern Districts. You look at him, he's a giant over all other players in the middle. Number 35 we see there. His direct opponent probably will be Carlton Cantilla. Yes, Carlson in for a big day, I think. He's got 2 big ruckmen to beat. Yeah, all the time. And Hine finishes up on his backside or on his hind side, and it'll be over the top, a free kick, high tackle, and the first clearance will go to the Tiwi Bombers. Kicking into the breeze at Norbuild Oval. Yes, this will test in this quarter, I think. But running around, onto the left foot, kicks inside, forward 50, over the back, can't take the mark. Bowden over the back, knocks it forward beautifully. Well done to him. Out to Suter. Suter goes by hand to Jake McQueen. McQueen again by hand. The handball out to Brandon Rusker. Rusker this time kicks poorly, and it bounds on the full, but it's quick as a flash inside their forward 50, 40 metres around from the Southern Districts goal. Yes, I think they've been told by the coach to move the ball a lot faster against this very quick Tiwi side. So well, make them run. I think that's right. I think you're right, Great. Ball to be tossed in by the boundary umpire. Is Hine caught up with him? Matthew Dennis resting in the forward pocket, takes the tap. Hine will sit back. One way, then the other, running out, and that's Roy George. Roy George kicks it forward. And good defence by the Tiwi Bombers. Bombers favour the out of this ground at Norbuild Oval. The pace
One bounce. They all have a bounce, Gray. They might only run a metre, but they have a bounce. But unfortunately, their disposal lets them down time and time again.
Yes, the enthusiasm is there and then the intent, but they just can't
finish it off. Yeah. Forward they go once again. Here's the big man, Mason Hines. See how he goes, Gray. Kicks it nicely. Spots up. Taj Stanley. Stanley, one way, and sells the dummy. Goes a long right footer to no one in particular. Easy for the Bombers to clear up, and they get it and get it out nicely. Nice handball. Timothy Barbui had a bit of the football. They go by hand. Brandon Rusker chips in, gets it forward, out to his teammate in Jed Anderson. That's another one for him.
That's his third possession.
They kick on goal over the back, won't make the distance. It was a nice work there by Ronald Fijo, who's done pretty well. Fijo might be up forward now, Gray. Started down back. See him there perhaps playing on the wing.
Yeah, this is where he played a lot of his football at Wanderers on a wing and half forward. So
he was good last year, wasn't he, with Southern Districts?
Very good in his first year with the Crocodiles.
Matthew Dennis still hasn't had a kick.
There's a lovely snap. I think it's a goal.
It was a goal. It was a lovely goal.
The man running back there with the grey boots.
Yeah, he won't turn around and let us see him.
Certainly threw it straight under his boot, knew exactly what he was doing.
And he nailed it.
He's obviously come down right from the half-back line.
Yeah, we'll keep your eye on him, Gray.
Yeah, okay. Number 22, was that Pemberton?
There we go, Mitch Pemberton. Yep.
He's been doing the good work in the back line as well, so he ran all the way down.
You're right.
Got the loose ball.
He did filter down. Here we go. Tipalura, Cantilla wins it easily. He might be tall, but he got out-jumped and out-leapt that time. A terrific effort by Carlson Cantilla against a much taller opponent. District's 50-metre penalty.
Yes, well, I didn't need that, the Tiwis. Well, no. What was that for, Did you get it?
No, to the busy Roy George.
The defender might have walked 1 centimetre over the line. That's all it takes.
George to kick on goal directly in front.
Number 33, the famous numbers of Darryl White with the Brisbane Lions.
George to kick on goal. Does it nicely, Gray.
He claps himself, so he must have got a goal.
So that's 2 on the trot, 2 in a minute, 4.5 minutes in. Southern Districts skip out, 3-2-20. The Tiwi Bombers 2-2-14. That gives the Crocs a 6-point advantage. For the blink of an eye, Gray.
Yes, well, they've moved the ball quickly on both occasions, Ian. It certainly paid off. Although the Tiwi Bombers, of course, are a very good rebounding side. They have been for many years, but they've been caught out twice there. So, obviously, under instructions from coach Shannon Rusker.
So, Hine in the ruck, and he's up against yellow boots, Carlson Cantilla. Cantilla beat him pointlessly earlier. No excuses. Throws the ball up. Cantilla, better once again. Probably got a fingernail to it. Ball on the ground in dispute. All Districts, it's the Crocs who get the clearance. Back they go. Over the back. Yeah, Bowden onto the trusty left. Has a player walked into that, Gray, just walked into the football. Strolls downfield, Southern Districts. The kick not as good as what it was, and it was meant, I think, that time for Brodie Grace, but the ball is out of bounds, but certainly just slightly favouring the Bombers.
And Michael Bowden, of course, the acting captain today in the absence of Dean Staunton. It was a magnificent kick out to a half-back flank, and as you said, his teammate just had to walk into it.
He did indeed. Hine up against it. Barry is dispossessed. Ball on the ground. Brandon Rusker.
He's starting to find a bit of the football too.
Yeah, he is. Yep, he's been busy.
Son, of course, of the great Robbie Rusker.
Robbie Rusker, yep. Dylan Barry onto the left foot. Lovely left foot kick. Misses to the near side. And that's a minor score.
Yeah, so these kicks look nice, but they're just not finding the major opening. So we've got Districts leading, is it, by 7 points.
Stanley Tipalura. Tipalura goes out wide. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. Chip inside forward 50. Has to be precise, not quite precise. Ball goes back. This time they chip it in.
This is Adam Tippenwoody, the former Wanderers and Tiwi player.
Jason Puruntatameri Jr.
It's not. Well, Adam used to wear number 1. He didn't anymore.
He did. It's Jason Puruntatameri Jr. Now within scoring distance, like kicking into a bit of a breeze. Kicks it beautifully, Gray. That is magnificent, but unfortunately misses to the near side.
Yeah, drifted away with this unusual breeze, but it's swirling out there.
A re-kick in. Rusker. Still inside defensive 50. Southern Districts players everywhere. Barry onto the left foot, the distinctive left footer. Does it and does it nicely, as left footers usually do. Fakes the handball. First kick for the big fella, but he's at 15 handballs. Districts on the march. Oh, good defensive mark. Wonderful mark in defence. Was up against it. Kurt Dunn. Out they go again. Bo Schwartz, one of his feuders, held up his opponent. Did he hold the ball in? He did. Give it to me, said the field umpire. And she will toss the ball into the stratosphere. Perhaps not quite that high. She does. Dennis, as soon as he gets into the ruck, Districts win it. Districts away. Again, oh, that's got to be 50. No.
No, a little late.
Coincidental. He is taking
it. It is 50.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Yeah, good decision. Because it was well after the mark was taken.
Ethan Maney.
And Maney will be marched, or Maney's opponent will be marched to the goal line. And surely this is 3 for the quarter. Inside 9 minutes.
He could just about chuck the ball through from there.
I reckon he could.
Or throw it.
Maney kicks the goal.
Ethan Maney.
It is Southern Districts leading 4-3 to 2-3. A 2-goal, 12-point advantage. And we're just about ticking to 10 minutes into the second term. So they're just starting to take control, aren't they? And what a difference it makes when Matthew Dennis gets in the ruck. No disrespect to Mason Hine, but it was Carlson Cantilla who had the advantage over the much taller man. But as soon as Matthew Dennis, a noted ruckman, gets in, away we go.
It's almost David versus Goliath, isn't it? This guy, Matty Dennis, can certainly play the game, and he loves running around the ground doing as he pleases.
And will not get off the ground. He goes to the forward pocket. Not that he's a goal kicker, Gray, but his nuisance value down there, I suppose, because of his size and shape. Anyway, Districts get it. Probably their best player in Brock Orville gets it, but a mark taken in defence. Southern Districts, Jordan Cotter. Anthony McDonald, Tippenwoody. Doesn't quite know where to go. Back to Cotter. Cotter outside defensive 50, grandstand side at Norbuild Oval. Will run, kicks nicely. Over the back, and the big man just does it too easily, doesn't he?
Who else but Matty Dennis?
Yep. Oh, the big climb and the big mark. Well done. That was Jake McQueen.
He's starting to come into the game. A bit of a slow start, Jake, but he's certainly into it now.
And Dylan Barry. Now, Dylan Barry, we know, is a left footer. He's right of centre, so he might curl this around, Gray. A noted goal kicker.
Is the breeze going to affect the kick, though? But you'd think it's blowing into his face almost.
Barry runs around, straightens up, kicks on goal, kicks across the face of goal. No mark down there, running into an open goal. And Southern Districts, at the fall of the ball, they get the goal.
And that's the little fellow there, little fair-haired fellow. Certainly swooped on that loose ball.
He did, didn't he? That's what he was, where he should have been. and that was Brodie Grace.
Yes, as small forwards are supposed to do.
Front and square.
So how many goals has scored for District? That's the
4 goals.
4 goals, yeah.
Yeah, 4 goals inside 12 minutes. They've taken control, but they've got the breeze behind them. Southern Districts, the Tiwi Bombers were wasteful, particularly early in that first term.
Well, that's right. It's come back to bite them.
Pretty much.
Unfortunately, so they really have to start finding the football and using it a bit better, especially out of the back line where Matty Dennis has given them many opportunities. And there he goes again. The umpire claiming someone was held then.
Yeah, I think, but it certainly wasn't Matthew Dennis. This must have been
off the ball.
Off the ball. And our man Brock Orville has been terrific for the Bombers. Handball. Away we go. Sold the dummy. Kicks around. Has it got the legs? No, it quite. Yes, it has. Goal.
Number 11.
Dale Cunningham. There's a goal kicking name for you. First goal of the term.
Yes, Cunningham, and we all remember Gerard Cunningham, of course, the premiership player with the Tiwi Bombers. And another Cunningham just popped up in for a very important goal for the Tiwis.
Well, it was Gray, and they moved to 3-3, trailing by 12 points. Southern Districts 5-3. The game being played at Norbuild Oval, the home of the Crocodiles, 13 minutes into the second term.
Yes, this is AFL and T's coverage of the NTFL season, the 23-24 season. And it's back with your favourite player, Ran.
Yeah, and does it comfortably. He's got the chop out at the moment because Clayton Tipalura is in the ruck. He's the chop out ruckman for the Bombers. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Matthew Dennis. Now he's had a couple of kicks this quarter. Kicks
nice
it,
mark.
And was strong mark. Sells the dummy. This time he goes to the left-hand side. Jake McQueen lines the ball up and misses to the left.
Yes, we did all the preparation and he let us down.
He did.
Thomas Bowsett was the guy that took that strong mark. He's done some important things as well, Ian.
Yep, young lad. Bombers bring the ball back. He's got to beat 3 on his own. Gets the ball back by hand, cleverly done. Spins around onto the right boot. Has he got someone out there? He has, but unfortunately there's 2 against him. And the Crocs, the body strength of the Crocs now is just starting to take advantage, Gray.
Yeah, certainly a bit more physically stronger.
Yeah, they're breaking the tackles. Dragged off the footy. It's a mad scramble deep in the Southern Districts forward line. Not 15. Play on called the umpire correctly. Bombers get the ball out. That McDonald Tippermoody had a handball. Again gets the ball out. Orville, one bounce, kicks it forward. Well forward, inside forward 50. Running hard at the football. Can't get it. Cantilla kicks on goal. There's another one, Gray. There's another one.
Kim Cantilla.
But missed.
I was going to say in the style to which we've become accustomed, but he missed
to the
it.
near side. Michael Bowden gets it. Does it nicely. Still inside defensive 50. Kicks forward. Lovely kick off the boot.
He certainly had a bit of meat in that kick.
Here he goes again. Swung more than 360. Lucky to get away with that. Was that time it was McDonald Tippermoody again. McDonald Tippermoody. Here he goes, and another one. That's 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Tippermoody does it and does it precisely. Play on called the umpire, and the ball is run out of bounds. Well done, Jack Palmer.
Yes, they looked around to see what had happened with that mark, but he just couldn't hang on to it long enough.
No, it wasn't a mark. Play on, and correct call by the field umpire. In front. Dashed away. Beautifully done. Roy George, been all right. across the face of goal. Got to be precise.
Anderson very clever then.
Yep. He used all of his experience. It's it out wide. Oh, look at this, Gray. 100 metres away from anyone. Away we go, Southern Districts. This time, Jordan Cotter had a bit of it this quarter. Kicks the ball in and does it beautifully.
Yes, that's what they call forward line efficiency, Ian.
Yeah.
They've spotted up a teammate right in the goal square with the blue boots. And he's about to walk back and kick Districts, that's number 10. About to kick Districts' 6th goal, is it?
Jake McQueen, been busy, great. He's worked his way into the game.
The boy from North Ballarat.
McQueen to kick on goal. Directly in front. 10 metres out. He'll do a Coco Nicky. Will not miss. He's kicking from a long way out, Gray.
And guess what? You put the mods on him?
Well, that was, I mean, the man on the mark was 10 metres out. He kicked from 40.
He actually came off the Michael Holding run-up. That was the problem.
He did.
Michael Holding run-ups don't work too well in the heat up here, eh?
Whispering death.
That's right.
Jacob Brown. Strong mark in defence. Aiming for Cantilla. Eased out of it. Good mark taken. Out to Jed Anderson. Anderson onto the left foot. Working his way into the game, Anderson and Tipperwoody. Running around. Kick on goal. That time. Roy George again, been pretty good. Roy George. With the Bombers, they have possession. And away they go. Bowden. Dropped probably what he should have taken. Normally he would just snavel that. Had plenty of time. It was Anderson. Got the ball out by hand and kick on goal.
Looks like he's got a sausage roll there.
Yep.
That was... Certainly Anderson gave him the ball beautifully. He's having a drink now.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. Just
wish they'd turn around occasionally.
Yeah, that's all right. Just keep your eye on him. Ball to be brought back to the middle and
by the way...
closing in on half time.
By the way, and another touch there to Anderson. He's up to about 10 touches now after a slow start.
6-5 to 3-4. Still got your eye on the goal kicker.
Yeah, he's had about his 3rd drink. You must know I'm watching him, I think. Number 9 for the Southern Districts boys.
Fijo.
He hadn't had a bad day either.
No, he's had a good day. Started down defence. Bombers, they're away. This time through Michael Thompson, being quiet. Thompson kicks inside forward 50. 1 mark, 1 grab, 2 grabs. Play on called the umpire. They're consistent. They didn't allow a mark earlier. Here we go, away we go. Puruntuta Mary runs in, has a bounce and kicks over everyone but misses. Goodness gracious me, Jason Puruntuta Mary Jr.
Yeah, so I think that late tackle on him there, just he must have spotted him from the top corner of his left eye.
Runs more than his full measure. Got a whack. Field umpire saw that, paid no attention to it. Tiwi Bombers, Timothy Babui.
Terrific smother.
Babui again.
Young Ruska.
Babui inside, gets it to a teammate. Stanley Tipalura. Tipalura in front. They grabbed it. They're good call by the field umpire. Both Bombers had a grab at that. Both Bombers had enough of it. And holding the ball. Good free kick by the field umpire, in my view. In defence. Yes. No, he's going to have, because it was a disputed mark.
He'll do the fair thing, I think.
No, it was a disputed mark. 2 Tiwi Bomber players had it, so he couldn't call it. This time. And the skipper, the acting skipper, Brendan Cantilla. The Bombers, they're coming back.
A little bit loose then, the District's defence. They've been very efficient up to date, but starting to find a couple of holes in it. The fast-moving Tiwi Bomber forwards, and the skipper can put the seal on a very good move.
So Brendan Cantilla, right of centre.
Yeah, about 40 metres out.
Yep. Accuracy is the issue. Cantilla kicks the captain's goal, I reckon.
If that's what you're supposed to do.
Got 50 metres. Whether he missed it or otherwise, he's going to call it goal.
Going to say it's a goal anyway, yeah.
Yep. It's a good effort. And moves them, of course,
So
6 points closer. 4-5 to 6-5.
some smiles over here on the Tiwi bench, as I see. That means only a goal in it, Ian, does it?
4-5 to 6-5 might be two goals in it, Gray. Yep.
Sorry, my mathematics. Never my favourite subject, mathematics.
So despite Matthew Dennis's dominance,
yes, they've got some big guns around the ball in our district. They've got Anderson, Dennis, Dylan Barry, and the big fellow there, Bo Swartz. So they've certainly got some big guns in the middle to try and get some quick goals before half time.
they're all ball getters. Ball in dispute. Field umpire says, give it to me. Dennis is just dominant once again. Gets the ball out. This time Matt Duffy. Hasn't had much, but good smothering. Bombers well, that really held up and being in front into the breeze.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Ian. He read that very well.
Kim Cantilla, very experienced player. Left of centre, right footer. Gee whiz, it's going to have to give it everything, Gray.
He's going to have to aim for the right hand behind post almost.
Closing in on half time. Cantilla stabs at the football. Distance will be an issue. Over the back. Ball in dispute. And that's half time. It is half time. It would have been a Southern Districts free kick. So at half time, it is Southern Districts 6-5-41, leading the Tiwi Bombers 4-5-29. 12-point lead to the home side, Gray.
Yes, and this is the round 2 game between Southern Districts and the Tiwi Bombers at Norville Oval, brought to you by AFL and TV. We'll be back very shortly.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Territorians go a long way for one another.
So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away.
Get a quote today.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
So just a bit of play, one more free Joe. Jacob Queen, Jeffrey Dennis, Kimberley, what them, and Roy George has been alright. And the other bloke there is yeah, but he plays Tiwi Bombers. Tiwi Bombers, Rock Orwell. Thaddeus Portini. Carlson Kensel has been alright in the ruck. He's done a bit of engineering. Yeah. John Tipolera, Stanley Tipolera, and number 31, Jim Felton, back to Black. No, they had couples. Yeah, we had couples. Walk up in the meeting centre, you have to be careful because you're holding its way a bit. You know, and they say, see, tell what tackling the superstars. Normally, it's opposing sides here. Blokes from the same side.
What's the deal with Chip? Oh, that's right.
And welcome back to Norbuild Oval, where we've got the round 2 blockbuster between home team Southern Districts and visitors the Tiwi Bombers under brand new coach Patrick Boughton and Ian Butterworth, my fellow commentator. There's 12 points in it.
Well, there is, Gray, and it was at quarter time, it was a lead of 6 points to the Tiwi Bombers, but 5 goals to 2 in that second term, with the Crocs having the breeze behind them, 5 goals to 2, as I mentioned. So they now lead by 12 points, as you said, 6-5-41 to 4-5-29, and a late goal by the Crocs. It was really dominated by the Crocs, I thought, that quarter. They just seemed to, the bigger bodies, I think, just sort of worked their way, didn't they, in the contest to advantage.
And they've got so much ammunition in the middle with the big ruckman Matthew Dennis, who just keeps supplying his forwards with opportunities.
Well, say no more. It's almost Matthew Dennis every week, every game. He just seems to dominate, particularly in the ruck. He didn't have a kick possession in the first term, but had 7 handballs, had 3 or 4 kicks in that quarter, and a nice big strong mark. So he's got everything, that man. And this is, I reckon, Gray, it would be his 10th year up here, wouldn't it?
Yes, he's been up here a long time now, Palmerston, as you said, and now Districts. So, but he did tell me when he won the Cheney medal when I interviewed him post-match, he said, I'm not going to leave here, Gray, until I win a premiership.
And so the Cheney medal, of course, he won that in the
best on ground in the grand final
season.
Yeah.
But was a loser.
He said, I will not finish charity football until I win a premiership. So there you go. So,
well, we might see him till he's 50.
Yes.
But the way he plays, he doesn't use much energy, refuses to come off the ground. When he wants a bit of a chop out, he goes to the forward pocket. But then he says he sees the other ruckman, Mason Hine. I thought that young Carlton Cantilla beat Mason Hine, and Hine would have a good 15-20 centimetres on him. He's a giant.
While you're on Mason Hine too, he's from the Ballarat region of Victoria, which of course gets very cold in the winter months, and I'm sure he'll be taking a while to adjust to the territory heat.
You reckon he might be struggling?
Just a little while to adjust, I think, yeah.
I see Shannon Rioli down there, of course, crossed last season after well over 200 games and I think 9 premierships for St Mary's, crossed to the Tiwi Bombers. And didn't play much. He's just now starting to slow down, and injury starting to catch up with the man.
Yeah, well, that's what they say about Shannon. He's got an old man injury, which of course is calf injuries. Comes down with them a lot.
Yeah.
Very, very good player though. Let's hope that his career is not over, because his experience and skill will be very important to the Tiwis.
Oh, I think so, yeah. His role has changed. I mean, he was just a terrific player. Not a high possession player, but by gee, when he got the footy, you just didn't know which way he was
something
going.
with it. So we haven't seen either side back on the ground yet, Ian, so they're grabbing that extra couple of minutes because of the AFL and T's heat rules.
Just going through some better plays. Ronald Fijo, interesting, Gray. I reckon he started off in defence, although there was a lot of work because the Bombers started off really roaring, and Fijo has started to come into the game. Jake McQueen always plays well. Matthew Dennis, we've said pretty well. Defender Mitch Pemberton's been good. And Roy George, not Boy George, I'm not going to say that once again. Roy George has been okay. For the Tiwi Bombers, Brock Orville, number 7, an on-baller. Has he been a Waratah player? Just rack your brain there.
I think you're right. I was trying to work out before. I think of Orville from Waratah, yeah.
Thaddeus Port Jimmy, been very good. Carlson Cantilla, undersized in the ruck, gets him, grabs the ball around the ground. John Tipalura, Stanley Tipalura, and Tanya Blackney Nota, a monster down back for the Tiwi Bombers. Number 31 has been very good.
Tanner Blackney Nota. Gee, that's a unusual one, yeah, but you're right, he's been very good. But the Tiwis have had enough of the ball and have done more damage on the scoreboard.
Well, the first quarter they should have been much much better than they were. 2-2 they kicked, and probably I think 2 posters and a couple out of bounds on the full.
It's this zigzagging when they get up forward. I'm not probably because they haven't got a key figure at full forward.
Yeah, that's right.
But
yeah.
maybe, if they can just find a target by going a bit straighter, I'm sure they'll do more damage. But there's a long way to go. This is their first game under Patrick Bowden. So as the season goes on. And
you've been keeping some possessions for a couple of former AFL players.
Yes, I have a couple of slow starters too. We're talking, of course, of Anthony Tipperwoody, the former Essendon player, and Jed Anderson from Hawthorn and North Melbourne. Only 1 possession each at quarter time, according to us.
Yep.
But they picked up in that second quarter, most definitely. Anthony Tipperwoody's now got 5 possessions. That's 5 clean possessions.
Yep.
That's not counting smothers and missed handballs. And Jed Anderson, as the siren tries to drown me out, he's got 7 touches and they've all been clean, particularly that magnificent left foot kicking of his. So they're starting to work their way into the game.
Yep. And neither are normally big possession winners, but when they get the footy, as you mentioned, Jed Anderson, once he gets hold of it, it's precise. And Anthony Tipperwoody, once during the call, he got the ball, looked up, he was clear, and had no one down further down the field to kick it to, so he just had to really hang on to it.
And as I look at the new coach there of the Tiwi Bombers, having a drink of water, Patrick Bowden, he'll be tossing a few ideas around in his head. He's looking up. He has got his family supporting him, I noticed. Joel Bowden, the former Richmond champion, he's here somewhere. And so, as you mentioned earlier, his brother.
Rhett Bowden, who is the principal out at the school on the Tiwi Island.
Okay.
He was the principal at the Catholic
O'Loughlain College. Yeah. So, yeah, the Tiwis have just got to learn to straighten up a little bit, I think, and find a goal kicker, and they might be on their way. But by the same token, Districts looked very good in that quarter.
Yep.
they started to use the ball and find teammates in space.
But she's been on the back of Matthew Dennis. I can't speak too highly of the importance and the dominance that he plays. When he wins the tap, normally then he gathers the ball and either handballs, but he handballs to a teammate. It's not a wasted possession.
No, he does. He's got very good vision as well as a hunger for the football.
I don't know how he goes when he goes down south. Presumably he plays down south, and whether he's has the dominance down there. I mean, the territory not known for its tall players.
Not known for its defensive play a lot either.
No, that's true too.
But with the big fellow, he plays in northeastern Tasmania, in a little village there. He's locked away, him and his wife, but he's enjoying his footy, he tells me. I forget the name of the place. So some little villa on the northeast coast of Tasmania, where it probably gets down to about -20 in the winter.
So he's a fly-in, fly-out. So every week he's got to jump on a plane and go to the mainland and then jump on another plane and come up here.
But it's obviously something he loves doing, as I said. Got a hunger for the game, Matty.
Yeah.
And he must be in his mid-30s.
Got to be, yep.
But just the size and athleticism of him makes him a prominent player up here.
Yeah.
It was his first game, I know, but already be one of the favourites for the Nichols medal. He just gets so much of the football, Butters.
He didn't play in the first game and probably get 2 votes anyway.
Having said that, a bit of a shout out to Carlson, the Tiwi ruckman.
Carlson Cantilla.
He has worked his butt off against 2 giants.
Yep.
And you never know, he might overrun them in the end with his heat. Who knows? We're about to get going here.
And it's Cantilla, the man you mentioned, and he is, of course, up against Matthew Dennis, the man you also mentioned. So surprise, surprise, Cantilla v Dennis. The Bombers, they need to really get a good lead in this quarter. The wind may ease, although the sea breeze will come in and the sea breeze will blow down to the southern scoreboard as the field umpire holds the ball aloft. And away we go. Matthew Dennis and Cantilla, the whistle blew. Too many inside the square or something happening.
Or was it the 6?
6-6-6, who knows?
Let me look. They're looking down the other end of the ground.
So it'll be the warning to whom?
I think it was a 2 where he's got the warning. Anyway, we'll restart it.
Yeah, he's actually talking to the Tiwi, so you're quite right. Up they go. Cantilla actually won the tap. Gets the ball down. Can't break free. Charging through hard was Timothy Babui, who I think's been all right.
Yes, Stanley Tipalura, the former Wanderers player.
Anderson gets the ball out by hand, but goes astray. Tiwi Bombers get the advantage. In they go. Ball in dispute. Running hard, the defence now. They're locked up, locked in. Give it to me, the field umpire should say, and does.
What have they done? They're going to bounce.
Good decision.
You being a former umpire, and a bounce normally means that it's all square. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Give it to me. I'll have it. Stop mucking around, you blokes. McDonald, Tipperary also had a possession. Yep. So McDonald, Tipperary and Anderson have had one each already.
No, that's a Tipperary second. He got a handball out.
Did he?
A minute ago, yep.
Ball in dispute. Chip, chip, chip. Chip to advantage. Watch who it is, Gray. Kicks on goal and nails it.
And it's a skipper, Brendan Cantilla.
Brendan Cantilla. Well done to him, the acting captain. That's 2 goals to him. He is the only multiple goal scorer in the game.
Yes, the handball, the short pass was a handball found him and all alone. He thought, well, how easy is this? Bang, goal.
So inside 2 minutes, the Bombers get the first one.
I'm sure that would have been in the strategic planning of the coach too. He would have worked his X's and Y's.
He'll take advantage, yeah, he'll take the credit for that.
X times Y equals early goal, he would have told his players. And another captain's goal from Brendan Cantilla around.
Yep. As I said, he's the only multiple goal scorer in the game. Back in the middle, Cantilla v Dennis. Cantilla won the first. What'll happen here? Dennis, of course, says, you're not going to beat me too often, sunshine, and wins the tap, but the clearance is the most important aspect. Southern Districts get it. They go wide. They go wider.
Little number 3 there, Grace.
Yep. He's got no one on the mark. Grace looks out, goes down. Oh, goodness gracious me. And there's the big man. It's Blackney Notor. Goes wide. Michael Thompson. 2 bounces. Have another one. Decides not to. And they go. Ball in dispute. On the ground. Wing. Barbui gets it out. 1 bounce. They started off like a rocket and a nice mark. Defensive districts. This is where they're dangerous. They'll look for openings, look for options. Handball. Short kick again.
Anderson.
Yep.
Clever little kick out there too.
And it was. Now they've got space. Centre half forward. Plenty of room. Running around. Roy George. Been very good and gets it forward nicely. Ronald Fijo.
Gee, he made that mark look easy.
Money for old Jam.
It's about a metre or 2 in front and he just sort of rolled his body into it. So about 25 metres out on about a 50-degree angle.
It's worse than 45, but he's a right-footer, Grace, so at least he's on the left side of the field. Opens it up nicely. Normally, very good. Has 1 goal, got it in the second quarter. Kicks on goal. He towed the ball, yes. Touched on the line, and Michael Dunn will rush the ball through.
Yes, it definitely hit his big toe, unfortunately.
It did, didn't it?
What's it? Going to have to go long, and they do.
Oh, he marked it. It fell into his arms. Well done. That's Cantilla. Cantilla spears one forward into the middle of the ground. Here's another Cantilla. Gets it forward. Beautiful kick. And away they go. Out wide to a running player and a lovely mark. Gee, they're fired up, the Bombers.
Yes, they've come out, certainly come out running.
That's Roy Cantilla, I reckon.
Yes, all the 3s. Once again on the impossible angle and a fair way out too, and probably about 45 metres out. This will test him.
Roy Cantilla hasn't kicked a goal. Trots in, kicks.
Once again,
misses to the near side.
Don't think he kicked a goal yet, Roy, has he? Not according to our stats, anyway. Yes, it's a 50-metre penalty for some reason there.
Yeah, players inside that protected area.
Okay, that's what it was.
So it's not a 50, well, it shouldn't be. It should be a relayed free kick. The bloke nearest to the back of the centre square.
Good mark.
Yeah, it was a good mark. Tell you who's Brandon Rusker hasn't had much of it.
No, he did come into it early in the second quarter, but haven't seen a lot of him since.
Speak of the devil, he copped one around the chops for his troubles. Goes forward. Nice mark. Matthew Johnston, hasn't had much of him. Kicks it wide. Yeah, lovely. Tapped it over the top beautifully to advantage. Southern Districts in, but Michael Dunn. That's a couple of possessions for him early in the third quarter. Dunn kicks it forward. Marking interference. Play on called the umpire. Didn't touch the player. The player fell over.
What's he giving a 50-metre penalty? What's he doing? Looks like it. Running down as umpires traditionally do for a 50-metre penalty, or is he just changing umpires? The umpire in charge.
Michael Dunn coming to have a chat with the umpire.
Yes, it's definitely a 50-metre penalty, and the man who has the pigskin between his fingers is
So this might square the ledger.
Bound to kick a goal, I
in
think.
the third term.
Couldn't miss from there, could he?
No, could not miss from there and does not miss from there. That might be Jake McQueen.
I think it's Bo Schwartz, 14.
Can kick a goal, Bo Schwartz.
So that's his first.
So they're all single goal kickers. So at the 8-minute mark of the third term, 7-6 plays 5-6. Still that 12-point advantage, which it was at half-time.
5 goals to 7, of course. Yeah, still a bit of a stop-start game, eh? That one team sort of dominates for a couple of minutes and the other side gets the football, so yeah, no real advantage yet, even though districts are 12 points in front.
So it's Dennis up against Ken Tiller. Ruck. Ken Tiller, the superior leap, but Dennis stayed down and knocked the ball to advantage. But we'll have the secondary bounce just outside the bullseye. Same two combatants. Matthew Dennis. Rucked, roved, hit it to his own advantage and kicks to centre half forward. Dylan Barry has the footy. Man, 48 metres from goal. Barry, usually precise, is precise, and this time
Jake McQueen just drifting down.
It is Jake McQueen.
Yeah, the North Ballarat Rebels and, of course, the Roosters in the VFL. So he's certainly played top-level football, this Jake. Had a very good season last year, right?
Yep.
Not 22-23 season.
No, he's been very good for a long period of time for Southern Districts. The journeyman, McQueen, left of centre, right footer, straightens up, kicks on goal and toes it. Anderson fell over before he could take the mark. Tiwi Bombers.
Beautiful switch, I
yeah, it was.
Plenty of Tiwi players out this side of the ground.
The handball gets the ball out to Barbui, who I mentioned earlier, has been very good. Some one-on-one strength there. One not high. Play on called the umpire. Correct call.
Tipperwoody handball. There's a possession. Yeah, I'll get that. Just watching in case someone picks up and snaps a goal.
Too far out to score. Centre half forward. Crocs in advantage. Matthew Dennis. Gee, he goes some distance. Free kick in advantage.
He's coming back here.
Free kick.
He's gone sideways and found a teammate. Number 21.
John Tipalura. Has the wind behind him. Tipalura.
About the same angle as his captain, Brendan, who kicked a goal just before half-time. About the same distance too, Ian, so big chance here for the Tiwis.
A couple of shots by the Crocs have been towers and they haven't made the distance. Certainly no problem here, although it was a long, long way out and the ball is out of bounds right full forward for the Tiwi Bombers.
He had a bit of a problem with his with the wind then, I think, that grabbed it. But you're right, some of those shots from districts have hit the big toe instead of the middle of the boot.
Yep.
So they may need some goal kicking practice on Tuesday night.
Ball to be tossed in by the boundary umpire, Matthew Dennis, over the back. Tipalura, Cantilla worked his way to the front. Bodies going one way, each way, working hard. But the Crocodile defence ruled. Will they rule this as intentional? I think they might have.
Yes, what's the word for it now? A lack of intent or something? Or
something like that, yeah. And it'll be a Barbui.
He's flashed in and out, Ian. He's done some good things.
Yep. Barbui kicks it in. And the mark taken. Nice mark. Strong mark.
Just
in front.
Walking back with that deliberate look on his face, this fellow. This will be a handy one for the Tiwis. It's a captain again, Brendan Cantilla. And he does what every good goal kicker should do. And he bends down and tightens up his bootlaces.
He does indeed. Got two. The only multiple goal scorer in the game. He has two.
Pretty sharp angle.
Right of centre. Right footer. Close enough. Kick through it. Does kick through it.
Beautiful.
And he
hang
misses
on.
to the near
That's missed.
side.
Yeah, I can't remember a goal going through from that side in this game.
I think the ball is affected by the breeze.
Yes, the wind has won every competition down there. So even the captain can miss Butters, so it can't be easy down there.
Dennis wins the tap, goes to advantage.
Fijo again, I got that out. He must be down back again, or is he around the ball?
Yeah, good point.
Bearing in mind that that is a goal kicking end, of course, and the goal scoring end.
So they might have the extra man in defence.
Now he's out on a wing, so he's certainly doing some running, young Fijo. Number 9.
Ball on the wing, or slightly favouring the Crocs' advantage. Sells the dummy, got rid of it quickly. Series of handballs. Don't kick the ball, boys. Now the kick. No, the handball still. Series of handballs. Another one. Look away handball. Another one. Here they go, on the outside, so the handball works. Running hard at the football, and gone. Good free kick.
That's your boy, Roy George. He tried that a little bit too much, eh?
Yeah, he did. He didn't realise that there was a Tiwi bomber chasing him.
And also a fleet-footed Tiwi bomber who chased him down very easily.
Kim Cantilla, still inside defensive 50, usually precise.
Look at this.
Precise. Gets the football, bounced after half a metre. Kicks hard on the left. Inside forward 50, man in front. And it might be our man Orville.
Yes, he's been a bit quiet so far, but certainly should kick this to bring them within 4 points.
Directly in front, kicks across the face of goal. Did not deviate, did it? Looked like it was going to come back, the late in swing, but a minor score. So the Tiwi Bombers are game wasteful when they've got the breeze at their back.
He probably didn't take enough time either, Ian. He rushed that a little bit.
5-8-7-6, 10 points. The Crocs leading. Gary Puruntarameri limps back onto the field.
It's a bit of yelling from the Tiwi end of the ground.
Yep.
Normally signifies a free kick, and it is. Mark aimed all free kick. Mark, was it? Yeah. This is our mate, Mr. Orville again. And now he's taking a bit more time in.
Yeah, well, he didn't make much of the last one, did he? Orville, deep in the left pocket. The right footer. Kicks on goal.
It's a beauty.
And they like it. They love it. Orville, he's on the board too.
See, now he should have taken my advice the first time and taken a bit of time.
He should indeed. So the Bombers move within 4 points, Gray.
Yes,
So we reckon, what is it, 2-3 goals?
Yeah, probably a 2-goal breeze.
2-goal breeze.
So that's Orville's first goal. They're right in this now. They're I notice they're still running hard too. So one thing Paddy Bowden's done with them, he's got them reasonably fit in for their first encounter.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Now Matthew Dennis out of the ruck, and Big Mason Hine, the chop out, has replaced him. This will be easy. This will be easy, says Carlson Cantilla. But Klein it is. Wins the tap. They work the ball forward. But the Bombers have the footy. The advantage. Jason Puruntarameri Jr. spears it forward to a leading player. Now he finds the handle. One way, then the other. Turns onto his right boot. The mark taken. Dropped deep in the forward line. Series of handballs. They'll handball their way out again. Will they muck it up? Sells the dummy. They might muck it up. Because they're looking as though they've got to be precise. That might be the instruction. But the handball, they mucked it up. this time.
They're going to try and handball themselves out of trouble.
Pemberton.
Whoops.
Oh, that's ball. That's easy, Pemberton. That's foolish football.
Very hard to beat a fleet-footed Tiwi.
Well, it's just foolish football.
And a very good tackle, by the way, around the waist. There was no shoulder stuff.
Morning school.
Nice snap there too by number 28. That is Jack Palmer. Just missed. That would have put them in front.
Yeah, but it was Edward Purintara Mary Dunn, the Tiwi Bombers.
Where's the football nowadays?
Clear on the outer.
Here's Anderson.
Gee, left foot, not to advantage. Goes to a 2-on-1. The Crocs working hard to keep the ball inside their forward half. But the Bomber defence is terrific. It's strong and it's holding up.
He's hurt himself. I thought
running into an open goal. And just casually, just as casual as you like, Roy George becomes the first multiple goal scorer for Southern Districts.
And more importantly, puts them in front of him.
Well, they were in front, but further in front. So that broke the nexus.
Roy, now we've got to be careful there. It's Roy George, isn't it?
8-6 to 6-9.
That's his second goal.
We're just about to tick into time on, Gray. Have the Bombers done enough?
Yeah, well, they've certainly stuck with them, but will the physical strength of the Crocodiles or the pace of the Tiwis prevail? I'm just looking at a Districts player that landed on his back and looks a bit sore after that marking attempt. Walking back towards centre half forward. He looks all right now. That's number 33.
Hine against Kentilla. Hine won that tap as well. Picked up by the prolific Barbui. Barbui's been very good for the Bombers. That really held up that football. Mark taken nicely. John Tipalura. Tipalura goes to centre half forward. 2-on-1. Marking interference. Play on called the umpire. He can't, whatever he does, he can't find the handle. Gives the Croc defence time to recover and to get in. And the possession from the short kick. Barely the 15 metres. Favouring the outer, the scoreboard side. In they come now to centre half forward. Gary Purintara-Miri, too worried about his man. The man has the football now. Sold the dummy. Kicks inside forward. And I reckon he's kicked. No, well done. Good defensive work there. Wonderful Kurt Dunn. Held the ball up and we've got a rush behind.
So how are we going with the score? The Districts by
10 points.
9 points.
Here he is again, Roy George. Kicks it short. Matthew Dennis takes the mark. In the goal square? No. So he'll be on a slight angle, left of centre, but the man on the mark 10 metres from goal. Roy George has been really, really good. There's the siren. It is three-quarter time at the moment.
Yes, he's
10-point lead.
He's definitely lifted his work rate, Roy George.
To Southern Districts.
He kicked two and he's just handed one off here to Matty Dennis, you would think, right on the siren.
Matthew Dennis kicks on goal, makes no mistake. Matthew Dennis's first goal. And it gives the Crocs a distinct advantage. Three-quarter time it is. 9-7-61 to 6-9-45. Southern Districts, they came back from the dead there, Gray, because the first half belonged to the Bombers, but Districts just dominated easily in the second half.
Yes, kicked two late goals in the third quarter, go to a 16-point lead at three-quarter time, and this is AFL and TV's coverage of the 23-24 NTFL season, and this is a round two game, and we'll be back very shortly.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Territorians go a long way for one another.
So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away.
Get a quote today.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
And welcome back to Norbuild Oval for the decisive last quarter of this round 2 game between Southern Districts and the Tiwi Bombers, being presented by AFL TV in partnership with the NT News. And Ian Butterworth have got a 16-point advantage to the home side.
Well, the Bombers got within 4 points in that vital third term, but 2 late goals to Southern Districts pretty much might have sealed the deal for the home side, Gray, because the breeze is still there, still a couple of goals in it.
Yes, and of course the Tiwi is coming to the non-scoring end, although I think the Crocodiles kicked 3 or 4 in that quarter, didn't they, against the breeze?
Yeah.
So yes, a big task ahead of them. And they've got to make every shot count, I think.
How's Tipperary Anderson going, Gray?
I knew you were going to ask me that, Ian, because I've kept up as close as I can. They'd 3 possessions each that quarter. So Anderson's had 11 touches for the game, and Tipperary has 9. So
they're
keeping up.
Obvious touches, aren't they?
Well, there were a couple of smothers I didn't really count.
Yeah, just possessions, yeah.
So they've done that a little bit. Tipperary would take a while to adjust to the heat after being in Melbourne for 12 years.
Well, Jed Anderson's been away for equally as
Anderson
long.
as well. Well, he was on the Gold Coast. He had a bit of sun over there, didn't he, for a while?
Well, yeah. When he wasn't in rehab.
Yes, he had a bad injury run, did Jed Anderson.
Here we go, the start of the last. It is the home side, Southern Districts, 9-7-61, leading the Tiwi Bombers, 6-9-45. A 16-point advantage to the home side. Matthew Dennis, of course, will start in the ruck. And his, not so much nemesis, but his opponent, Carlton Cantilla.
Will 16 points be enough?
Up they go. Dennis gets the ball down, but the clearance will go to the Bombers. The Bombers kick high and long, and a mark almost taken down there by Rioli. Ball on the ground, in dispute. That looks like a Cantilla to me. It is Kim. Goes back by hand. In they go again, inside forward 50. Man in front, mark taken, and the mark won't be paid because there's a free kick holding. Free kick goes to Southern Districts.
Yes, bit of interference behind him, man.
Brandon Rusker, has he done well here? Well, he might have mucked it up. Kick off the ground, cleverly done. Rusker went right across the ground. What did your first football coach say? Don't kick across the ground when you're in defence. District's got to work hard to get the ball out. That almost clean bowled him. District's in a spot of bother. They just cannot find the handle.
Yes,
they mucked that up monstrously.
Well, going sideways in the back line is always dangerous, ain't it?
Well, you've got to be precise, don't you?
I remember the late, great Graham Farmer, when he coached me as a schoolboy, once saying that, straight down the middle from the back line.
Right forward pocket. Tiwi Bombers trailing by 16 points, in advantage. Matthew Dennis in front. Over the back, Cantilla knocks it forward. The Bombers still can't find the handle. Kicked off the ground cleverly by Rioli. Well done. They deserved that. Well done to the Bombers, and they creep ever closer within 10 points.
Yes, not a good result that for the Southern Districts defence. They had it under control, but Rioli saw the opportunity.
Kicked across goal.
But even the goal itself, they looked over under control. He had it in his hands, the Districts defender, but Rioli saw an opportunity, ran in and kicked it off the ground. So that tightens things up, Ian.
Within 10 points.
And that, of course, was Rioli, wasn't it? Hadn't done a lot, but a very important touch then.
My word.
First goal of the last quarter.
Back in the middle, Cantilla and Dennis, the combatants once again. Jed Anderson's in there. Needs to get a few telling possessions. Up they go. Matthew Dennis rucks, tries to rove, loses possession. Now they're away. Go by. They just cannot find the handle, Southern Districts.
This guy can. Big up and under. Is that Roy George?
I reckon it might be. He's been nearly their best player inside of Matthew Dennis. And a mark taken deep in the forward pocket. Dylan Barry, right of centre, the left footer.
Suits him perfectly, this, you'd think.
It does, yeah.
I reckon they'll aim for the left-hand goalpost, and curl it back in. A guy called Stephen Johnson from Geelong.
Runs around, kicks it.
Done it.
No, misses to the near side. They all miss to the near side, Gray.
There hasn't been a goal kick from that side of the ground all match, which is a bit surprising.
Got to be precise kicking in. Southern Districts. They found the handle. They finally found the handle. Give it to me. They kick forward. Key defence can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. In dispute. And the Bombers will clear easily.
Yeah, they're very composed then in defence, the Tiwis. But as I speak, there's a mark to Southern Districts.
Big mark taken by Southern Districts. Pretty much directly in front.
Gee, that ball rebounded very quickly, didn't it?
It did. You just cannot make a mistake.
And it's Bo Schwartz again. I'm just
well, he's a noted goal kicker, Bo Schwartz. Got one in the third, I think, Gray. Yep.
And I think it was your mate, Fijo, got that down in a hurry, which is what you do, Ian.
Bo Schwartz to kick on goal. To even the ledger for the term, and he does. He knows this ground. It's his backyard. Bo Schwartz.
Yes, born and bred here almost. That's his second. So goal for goal early on in the last quarter. 18 shots to 16, Ian, so there's not a lot in it scoring-wise, but the Districts boys have been able to find the major opening more than once.
10-8, 68, 7-9, 51. We've travelled almost 5 minutes in the final term.
There's a bit of cloud cover comes over, so those boys from the south will be very appreciative of that.
As will everyone else that's running out on the ground, the umpires included. Even the goal umpires, they don't do much running, but they'll think it's fantastic. Ball tossed up. Dennis gets it down. Anderson tracking the football. Taps it to his own advantage and taps it to his own advantage again. Well done, Jed Anderson. Taps it twice to his own advantage. Runs down, bends down, picks it up, kicks a goal. That is classic football, Jed Anderson. Tapped it to his own advantage twice, Gray.
Yes.
Found the handle finally and kicked a goal.
No problem then for the former Hawk and Kangaroo. It's his first goal, and a very important one because it gives Districts another 6-point advantage. Takes them out to about a 20-odd point lead, doesn't it?
Well, it's 23 points, so that's...
So, yeah. And he worked hard for that, but he worked smart for it too.
I think that's the key. He worked smart for it.
So all of a sudden the Tiwi Bombers find themselves 4 goals down, Ian, so it might be a long way back.
The goal of the year so far, or thus far, it's only round 2, the first game of round 2. But that was a sensational piece of football and what we expected from a person of his calibre. Matthew Dennis, once again, wins the tap. Goes forward, marked just 15 metres.
Young junior. Whoops, it's a terrible spilt mark though.
Yeah, it was, but he did recover well. Once again, look, that's how good he's at. Gets the ball out to a teammate, and that is Port Jimmy. Port Jimmy runs his full measure, sells the dummy, gets inside, sells the dummy again, onto the left foot, spots a player up, can't take the mark, drops the mark. Dale Cunningham has kicked a goal. Over the back, spins around, gets the ball out by hand, should go by hand again, kicks the goal.
I reckon that's Brendan Cantilla, Roy Cantilla.
No.
It's not, no, it's the captain again.
The captain again, that's 3 for him.
It must be his 3rd or 4th.
3. Brendan Cantilla.
Certainly has had a day out, the skipper.
A couple of good goals. One by Anderson, one by Cantilla.
And
Brendan Cantilla.
if the Tiwi Bombers ever needed a goal, it was right then. And he led from the front.
Indeed.
Some good lead-up work there too by his teammates to keep the ball moving.
Well, especially by Port Jimmy, wasn't it, out wide?
And that brings them back to 16 points. How long have we been going here?
Jake McQueen, the old 1-2, gets it back, swings on the non-preferred left, gets it inside forward 50. Ball in dispute. In the back, play on called the umpire, or is it? No.
Of course, what the Tiwis don't need now, Ian, is a responding goal from the Districts.
Yeah, which is what's been happening, isn't it? They get going and get some momentum, but give it away as they did late in that third quarter. with 2 late goals by
Oh,
Southern
what have they
District.
done here? No, they're all right.
They're away.
Oh, no, they're giving it up.
Yeah,
This is Pemberton again. He's been very good.
yes. Player on his own, short, a little bit of pressure
I think
late.
he spilt that,
Bo
young Schwartz. Yep.
Kicked it off the ground.
Good bit of play by Fido to size up his teammate there.
Yeah. And that was Roy George again. I think Fijo's been very good, Gray.
Here's an over-the-shoulder shot by a crocodile, but it's only a behind, as they say. It's a great Tim Lane used to say with the ABC.
Players out of bounds.
So we've been going nearly 9 minutes in this last quarter.
Kim Cantillett can't take the mark. Knocked forward.
And what have we got? We've got District leading by 17 points.
Shot on goal. Up they fly. Stayed down and another goal.
Yes, that's their number 20, who is Ethan Maney. That's his second goal. Once again, they've responded with an answering goal, which the Tiwis don't like or don't need.
Which is what can happen, unfortunately. And
well, the Tiwis play that attacking style of game, don't they? And
since quarter
sometimes they leave
time,
themselves exposed.
the Bombers led by 6 points at quarter time. Then it was Districts by 12 at half time. Districts by 16 at three-quarter time. So they gradually eased their way ahead.
Now, of course, it's back to 13, is it? Yeah. No, out to 23 again. So it's goal for goal. But District's still stretching their lead.
Back in the middle.
They come again.
Rucked Road. That's Cantilla. Well done to him. He's done a Matthew Dennis there. Ball in dispute. Good work over the back. If this is Bowden. And Bowden, no, it's not Bowden. He can't find the handle. Kicked off the ground and might have been out of bounds on the full. No, touched off the boot.
Gee,
the ball left forward pocket for the Tiwi Bombers.
Some pretty heavy tackling there too, but most players have emerged unscathed. Hasn't been an injury, touch wood, this game yet, a serious one anyway.
Doesn't appear to have been. Just toss the ball in, boundary umpire.
Yes, he keeps looking over his shoulder, isn't he?
Matthew Dennis should have knocked it forward, but knocked it over the back. Pretty. And it's a free kick. And Jordan Cotter has done some good stuff. Spots a player wide. Jack Palmer.
Who they got down here?
Palmer goes to a leading player. Blake Suter. Suter has another player forward. The goal kicker, Ethan Maney. He goes inside and a wonderful mark over the top. Probably a dangerous place to kick it.
But fortune favours the brave sometimes in Australian football.
Now he'll have to come off with blood.
Looks like he's
50 metres. That'll make him feel better.
He's a cop one behind the ear, is he?
Matthew Johnston.
Yes.
Look where the field umpire's going, in a line toward the forward pocket instead of in a line toward the goals. So the field umpire's lost direction. She needs a tracker. Kicked forward. Southern District.
It's a nice kick.
Away they go.
With the man on his own here at centre half forward for Tiwis. And they're going to go sideways.
Carlson Cantilla does it nicely. Goes to Kim Cantilla. Kim Cantilla brushes a tackle. Goes over the top by hand. Looking in the direction, but only Ronald Fijo is there. Picked up and Cox will clear and clear nicely. There's got to be a spare man. Chippenwoody. McDonald Chippenwoody labouring. The ball's coming back. McDonald Chippenwoody once again. Held onto, dragged off the footy. Free kick, correct. And called the advance. No, he didn't call it. The player stopped. Barbui.
Oh. One hand isn't good enough sometimes,
No,
skipper.
not. And it wasn't. There's the two captains together, Michael Bowden and Brendan Cantilla. Not sure what that was for.
Not a lot. Yeah, exactly. I thought he was on
Brendan
his own. when he dropped
Cantilla
that mark.
deep in the left forward pocket to kick on goal. Has 3, leading goal kicker for the game, the acting captain for the Bombers. Cantilla runs around and jags it and kicks out of bounds on the full.
What's the free kick for? It must have been off the
It
wall.
doesn't matter, it's well before. But what he should have been
Off the wall
called,
before it got
he
there.
ran off the line, so the boundary umpire should have called out of bounds when he, instead of running it directly in line.
Maybe justice prevailed on that occasion. It's a nice kick.
Puruntada Mary got it, second time. Kicks to a leading player, Cantilla. Gets it wide. Breaks the tackle, did it beautifully. Stanley Tipalura showed his experience. Tipalura goes for Brandon Rioli. The Southern Districts players saying he touched it. He might have done, but pretty hard not to pay it. And Rioli, who...
I think he's hurt a finger. I think he's
I
dislocated a finger, yeah. He's waved off any help from his teammate, so he must be okay. A little bit of pain. Important kick this one. That'll bring him back. If he kicks this in, they're back to within about...
So Rioli it is, Braden Rioli has a goal. Got one earlier in this term.
17 points he kicks this.
Left forward pocket. Hasn't had a lot of the footy. Kicks on goal and kicks beautifully, I reckon. Yep, Rioli, that's his second for the quarter.
As we move into the 15th minute mark of the last quarter, and a goal there to Braden Rioli.
Within 17 points. 12-8 to 9-8, 9-9.
So still game on. They kicked. That's their third goal this quarter for the Tiwi Bombers as they make a run in. Now they've got to preserve that difference and even decrease it, which means not giving a goal away on the rebound.
So Brock Orville been a bit quiet, hasn't he? I wonder if he's got a... because he'd normally be on the ball. In fact, is he on the field, Gray?
Is he out there or is he having a rest?
Well, we can have a look at the interchange bench here.
There's two players I can see only. What's happening here? Here they come, the Crocodile. No, yeah, the Crocodiles are in action. Anderson, another kick.
And kicked it precisely. Gets the ball out to Fijo. Fijo's been a bit of a will-o'-the-wisp and a journeyman, hasn't he, and on the field this game?
Yes, he's been down back on a wing and up forward. Here's a go. Someone called that. Didn't work.
And the big man, the Tiwi Bombers, does it nicely. Here they go again. 17 points. That's 3 goals they've got to get to nothing. Bombers, one bounce, right forward pocket. Kicked on goal. Pick up the player, Gray. Number 11.
Yeah, the big fellow there. He'll turn his back. I think it's one of the Cantillas. The orange. I think that's Roy Cantilla. I'll have a look. But certainly he took advantage of that nice short pass from young Cunningham, and he's ran into an open goal and made no mistake. So that brings him to 11 points in. And it's number 33 indeed. So that's one of the Cantillas, isn't it?
Roy Cantilla, number 33.
Yep. That's his first goal. No, it's not. Yes, it is. First goal of the match. Pretty important one. So what are we back to? We're rolling here into almost the 18-minute mark of the last quarter.
11 points.
And only 11 points. So it ain't over till it's over.
This is un-Bomber-like for the last 2 or 3 seasons. They're coming home with a wet sail. Here they go again. The Bombers are up and away. The handball.
Here they go again.
Once again, one bounce. Got to have another bounce. He doesn't. Stabs it inside forward 50, but the ever reliable Michael Bowden takes the mark. onto the trusty left foot, has a player wide, takes the mark. Jake McQueen. McQueen was pretty good. McQueen, second effort, also good. It just can't find the handle, Southern Districts. It's been noticeable. Working hard over the football, both teams. Gee, it's a credit to them all.
Yes, the Tiwis have certainly flipped their form from last season, haven't they? They're running hard and they're confident they can win this. Must be running out of time though, Ian. We're 18.5 minutes.
Yeah, we're about to tick into time on. We've got a minute and a half of real time, and the quarters, of course, are a couple of minutes short because of the heat factor. Southern Districts, free kick.
As the players emerge from behind the Tiwi Bombers bench.
Swinging the changes, Tiwi Bombers. Over the back, Bombers in control. They'll run, sell the dummy, one bounce, two bounces. Got to make the most of it, three bounces. It's a 2-on-1 here. Only need to muck it up. Another bounce. Got him, ball.
Yeah, it's young junior from Mary. Tried to do a bit too much, ain't he? He had handball options.
They've got to, Gray. They really must do that.
But he had a handball option. He could have handballed. Well, that's not your favourite subject, is it, handballing?
No.
Here they come again, though.
It was a good tackle by Pemberton.
Oh, he's missed it.
Over the back. Lumbering after it. Matthew Dennis pushed off easily, very easily by Barbui. Barbui gets it forward.
Marvellous play by Barbui. He ran around.
Barbui, and he's coming off. He's gone.
But he did a 360 beautifully. And that looked like another Cantilla shot. It is Roy again. What would he be? He'd be 45 out.
Man on the mark is 45 metres from goal, so he's going to have to kick from 50.
Roy Cantilla. Gee, he's been around the Tiwis for a while, hasn't he?
Jason Puruntatameri.
Short into a pocket. Not going to work.
Jason Puruntatameri. Couple of clocks. Now, that's again late. Good free kick and good free kick downfield. The mark was taken anyway.
What they call an FAD, is it?
Yep, my word. And it was there.
Roy
each
George.
one of those. Roy George goes in. That's a terrible miss. I don't know whether the ball's slippery or it's just early in the season.
Maybe a tired miss too.
Well, there's that aspect. Over the top, bad.
Away handball.
Yep. Umpiring going okay. Pretty much in the centre of the ground. Free kick was paid. Jed Anderson. Not sure what that was about. But Anderson, look at the kick. Have a look at the kick by Jed Anderson. Pinpoint.
Almost a mark down there to the Crocodiles.
Jake McQueen goes forward.
Has he got it? No,
nice mark taken. I don't know whether it was over the line or the mark taken. Boundary umpire says, my ball, so it was over the line.
As any forward would do, he's claimed the mark, but the umpire said, I'll have that, thank you.
And the umpire rules.
Still 11 points the difference.
Yeah, tossed in by the boundary umpire. The Bombers have got a...
This guy has made some serious runs in the last quarter. That number 21, Ian, has been very important for them.
John Tipalura.
Some long runs through the middle. Yeah, he's been very good.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Here they go.
Over in the wing. Here we go again. Braden Rioli. Oh, he's got the option. He's offering. Rioli's offering. One bounce, three bounces, Cantilla, and he finds Rioli.
Very good football there by that man. It was Roy Cantilla again, I think.
So Rioli has kicked 2 goals in this fourth term. Rioli to kick on goal. Onto the left foot. Rioli misses.
Geez, some terrific lead-up play by Cantilla there, but
12-8 to 10-10. That's 10 point.
He's your man, Roy George.
Roy George.
Half-back flank.
Oh, Anderson. Yep, 50. Silly.
And a bit of a grin there by Anderson too. I think he played for that and got it.
Well, he can't play with the bloke was behind and he knocked the ball out of his grip.
Yeah, but he didn't move much. There wasn't a lot in that, but I guess by the rules.
Yep.
Look at the kick. You're right, Ian. You marked that?
Out wide.
What's happened? Someone's
Running into an open goal. 10 points. 10 points in it. 23.5 minutes into the final term. Is it enough? 2 goals the Bombers need. Tapped over the top beautifully. There's the siren. Full time. 10-10-70 the Tiwi Bombers.
Yes, the game's over here at Norbuild Oval, where Southern Districts have got their first win of the season in a very tight finish, 12-8-80 to 10-10-70. And that's their first win. The Tiwi Bombers gallant in defeat, though, Ian.
Look, they were, and particularly in that last quarter, it was just a fantastic effort. In the past 2 or 3 seasons, the Bombers have always fallen away late in the games, but today, and there was word around that they were going to fight their way home, and they did fight their way home. But unfortunately, there's a kick on goal.
A late kick by Bo Schwartz. Bo Schwartz it was, and he's only kicked a point. So they won by 11 points, 12-9-81 to 10-10-70. And this has been AFL NT's coverage of the 23-24 NTFL season. The round 2 clash out here at Norbuild Oval between Southern Districts and the Tiwi Bombers, and we'll see you all again next week.